The Earth is an extremely complex, uniquely programmed planet, and all living cells are in a delicate state of existence. The smallest degree of change could cause significant effects on us and our surroundings. The distance between the Earth and the Sun, the levels of oxygen and nitrogen in the air, the angle and speed of the Earth's rotation, gravitational force, atmospheric pressure, and the list goes on. If any of these parameters were to change, even slightly, Earth would not be the planet we know today. We're living on the most unique and robust planet in the entire universe. In fact, the more we research, the more we discover just how much of a razor's edge we're really on.
Since the beginning of time, all the matter in the universe has been governed by precisely balanced laws and constants.
The laws of physics are balanced on a razor's edge for life to occur. For example, if you didn't have something like gravity that pulled matter together, you would never get planets, you wouldn't get stars, you wouldn't get any complex organisms. If you didn't have the strong nuclear force, there would be nothing to hold protons and neutrons together in the nucleus. And so you wouldn't have any atoms, so no chemistry. If you didn't have the electromagnetic force, you would have no bonding between chemicals. You'd have no light, and the list goes on. So you need all these sorts of fundamental principles have to be in place in order for life to occur. Wipe out one of those principles, wipe out one of those laws, no life.
The strength of gravity is just one of at least 30 separate parameters that must be finely tuned to produce a life-sustaining universe. Another example is the cosmological constant.
The cosmological constant describes the expansion speed of space in the universe. If space expands too quickly, then the universe will spread out so quickly that material objects can't form. So you can't get stars and galaxies and planets and the types of things that we of course take for granted in our universe.
Physicists have determined that the cosmological constant is fine-tuned to 1 part in 100 million billion 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 billion. Such precision has been compared to traveling hundreds of miles into space, then throwing a dart at the Earth and hitting a bullseye measuring 1/trillionth of an inch in diameter, an area less than the width of a single atom.
Just consider those two parameters, gravity and the cosmological constant. Their level of fine-tuning is to a precision of 1 part in 100 million trillion 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 trillion. I mean, that's like 1 atom in the entire known universe.
This fine-tuning is also evident at the atomic level. The strong nuclear force binds atoms together. If the strength of this force were to decrease by 1 part in 10,000 billion 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 billion, the only element left in the universe would be hydrogen. Again, chemical life would not be possible.
Paul Davies, a professor of theoretical physics, wrote, "The really amazing thing is not that life on Earth is balanced on a knife edge, but that the entire universe is balanced on a knife edge, and would be total chaos if any of the natural constants were off even slightly. Even if you dismiss man as a chance happening, the fact remains that the universe seems unreasonably suited to the existence of life." In 2009, astrophysicist Dr. Hugh Ross prepared a list of 501 parameters that any planet or comparable site within the universe would have to possess in order to support bacterial life for 90 days or less. This list was based on a study of more than 650 research papers which were published in astronomical and astrophysical literature. From this list, Dr. Ross formulated the probability of any single planet in the universe meeting these 501 parameters. Here are some of his summarized findings. The probability for a planet to have just the right amount of atmospheric oxygen, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen to support the simplest life is 1 in a billion. If the gravitational force were altered by 1 part in 10 to the 39th power, our sun would not exist as it does now, causing the Earth to be uninhabitable. If our solar system didn't have large planets like Jupiter and Neptune to accumulate space debris, the Earth would be struck by so much debris that life could not survive. And these are just a few of Dr. Ross's findings. The probability of all 501 parameters being met in a single planet is a mind-blowing 1 in 10 to the 311th power. That's a 1 followed by 311 zeros.
If the universe looks like it's fine-tuned for complex life, maybe there's a fine-tuner. Maybe it was fine-tuned for life.
The universe is finely tuned by an intelligence to sustain complex life. An intelligence that must be beyond the constraints of time and space.
Einstein said, "Anyone who becomes seriously involved in the pursuit of science becomes convinced that there is a spirit manifest in the laws of the universe, a spirit vastly superior to that of man."
In other words, the constants and values of the universe appear to be fine-tuned precisely for, well, us. Why is the universe apparently fine-tuned for life? It would seem Occam's razor, the logic of simplicity, would seem to say a creator designed it that way. We may not know who built the car, or we may not know who did the painting, but is it even reasonable to suggest that the universe and all its laws created themselves? Let me put it a slightly different way. If we think of modern science has spent the last 500 years doing what? Excavating the intelligence built into the laws of nature. We live apparently in a rational universe that reflects extremely complicated laws, right? Kepler's laws of planetary motion, Newton's inverse square law, Einstein's E equals mc squared, and so on. My question is, if our most brilliant scientists have spent their entire lifetime trying to decode the intelligence out of nature, who put it there? Or if not, a good question for Dan, how did it get there? Where did this intelligence come from? What is its explanation? What is your account for why nature obeys laws in the first place?
These are just simple life questions, and I'm just searching for some answers. Like, what are we doing here? And what is our purpose? How did we get here? And who made us so perfect? And what happens once we go? Or is this world all really worth it? Questions we don't answer because apparently we don't really have to. There's no purpose to this life and our existence is merely natural. Then in that case, please let me ask you, did you create yourself or was it somebody else who had fashioned you? Cause you're a being that's impeccable, faultless and unparalleled. You're a product of supreme intelligence and I'm merely being rational. For there isn't a camera on this earth that can come close to the human eye, nor a computer that can compete alongside the human mind. And if the whole world was to come together, we wouldn't be able to create a single fly. So many signs, yet we still deny. As science tries to justify that all this could come from none, when it's a simple sum. 0 plus 0 plus 0 cannot possibly ever give you 1. So from where did all this order come? For everything has its origins, a maker, a creator of its own. I mean, the only reason you're watching this video is because somebody had to press upload, so we can believe in the Big Bang, but I'd rather believe in he who caused it to explode.